Grandpa Eddie?
Morning.
Did you guys see Spencer?
Who's that? I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
You hear something?
We haven't even picked our guys yet. Are we in Florida?
Oh my God.
Wait. We're in the wrong body! My joints feel like butter.
Oh, never. I feel loose myself.
This can't be happening! I came back and things actually got worse.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3.
We have some issues here.
The game is busted!
Listen up now. This is a dangerous place. You got to have eyes in the back of your head.
What in the Sam hell just happened to him?
What the hell is this?
Would you look at me? I haven't looked like this since...
Never. You look like this never.
I think my eyes are a different color.
All of you is a different color.
Check this out. Strengths and weaknesses. Linguistics.
Oh, goodness.
Nunchucks. That's new.
Damn, that's a good list. Weaknesses, heat, sun, and sand. How is this guy...
Aloha. This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man. And welcome to Jumanji The Next Level. So yes, this is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man. And we are not here in Jumanji, at least not that I know of. Looks like it a little bit though, doesn't it? But honestly, this is Oahu, here in Hawaii. And I'm Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, bringing you the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And remember our rating scale, shock a thumbs up. It's good to see, I recommend it. Shock a thumbs down, I don't recommend it, it's junk. And for Jumanji Part 2, The Next Level, it is a shock a thumbs up. This brings back our whole host of characters, the kids, and of course the adults who are the avatars in the game. You get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you get Jack Black, Karen Gillian, and even Nick Jonas returns. And but added to the original cast of adults in this one, we add Awkwafina and Danny DeVito and what is it? Daryl Glover. All of them are wonderful in this performance of Jumanji to the Next Level. And again, it is a shock a thumbs up. It may not be as strong a shock a thumbs up as the original, as at least for me, it was missing that little bit of an element of surprise, because right off the bat, you knew what to expect with this movie once they got into the game overall. However, as the confusion kind of wore off and people got into their characters a little bit more, I got on board fully with the movie and enjoyed it ever since, all the way through. So yes, it does take a little getting used to, The Rock, as you have seen in the trailers, doing his impersonation of Danny DeVito. And I will give you a little bit of a spoiler. Awkwafina becomes played by her avatar, or her character in the movie is switched later on to be played by Danny DeVito. And so Awkwafina does her impression or impersonation of Danny DeVito, and I gotta say, she is even funnier than The Rock, which, no surprise. I mean, she is kind of a comedic actor and known for her comedy overall, more so than The Rock. So, that shouldn't be so surprising, but she, I don't know what it is with her and Danny DeVito, but she was spot on, I think. And, when sized up with the rest of the cast, she did seem to be the shortest. So maybe that's why she was able to channel Danny DeVito that much better. Kevin Hart, as we see, does a good impression of Danny Glover. I was surprised. I mean, other than like Lethal Weapon lines or something like that, we're too old for this beep, we're getting too old for this shit, how can you, adequately, impersonate Danny Glover? And Kevin Hart does an amazing job as well. So that right there, once you get into it and you see that these are not the original characters playing these avatars in the game Jumanji, once you get used to it, it's a pretty fun time. And of course the overall question of how do they get back into the game? Didn't we see the game destroyed at the end of part 1? Welcome to the Jungle, and all that is explained in the show. We find out that one of our main kids, the guy who played Braveheart, who wound up in his avatar before, he's basically, all the kids have moved away. They're no longer teenagers. They're adults now, young adults, going to college, leaving very different lives than what they had before. Some have moved to different cities. They have tried a long-distance romance, between the person who, the kid who plays Karen Gillian's character, Ruby Roundhouse, and the kid that plays, The Rock's character, Dr. Braveheart, or Bravestone. Their relationship that had blossomed in the first movie, because they have moved to different cities, are feeling that strain of, separation, and thus, weakened by that, he finds himself longing to re-experience the strength and sure-footedness of his character that he played in Jumanji as Dr. Bravestone. And so thus he willingly goes back into the game, trying to rekindle, find that power that he once had, his sure-footedness, his confidence, and come back out again, refreshed and revigored. And thus the other kids got to go after him and save him. As we found out in the first movie, no one can get out of Jumanji by just themselves, which is a bit of a plot hole of why would he jump back in there. Knowing that. Maybe he thought, it's like, oh, I beat that, we beat the game, so maybe it's, now that we know what's going to go on, this time around, we don't need all the characters. But no, you do, actually. And because this is not the same level, the same game played again, although it is the same game played again, it is the next level. As any game, any video game does, it's not the same level over and over again. Not, even just harder, not like the old Pac-Man days where it's the same screen and just the ghosts get faster. No, this is a completely different challenge. A stone is stolen, or, the gem of Jumanji, once again, is stolen, this time by a different evil warlord, much tougher than the first one in the first movie. And it is up to them to rescue it, to save all of Jumanji and themselves, and get themselves out of the game. But unfortunately, as, any, young adult, anybody who grew up with video games, your parents may have enjoyed some video games, but they were not totally on board with some of the most advanced ones. And when you find yourself, maybe as Danny DeVito and, Danny Glover, stuck inside a video game, something they haven't experienced, maybe your, grandparents haven't experienced, they find it quite confusing how they are these separate people with, young, powerful, strengths, almost seemingly near invincible. to find out what the heck is going on. And that's where you get a lot of the physical humor from The Rock and Kevin Hart in this movie. And so yes, it is a shock, a thumbs up. Everyone's, it's like they dived back into, it's like, they dived right back into it. There was no, long, year, 2 year break between movies. It was like as if just like, a whole summer or only 1 year had passed, like in the real game of Jumanji, or the movie of Welcome to the Jungle 2, this new movie, The Next Level. And so everything is fantastic. And we even changed the scenes. We don't get too much jungle in this one. We do get a lot of desert scenes, so kind of an a la Indiana Jones-esque campaign, which is really kind of nice to see. And, ending in snowy, snow-capped peaks and mountains. So, it's a definite change of locations, although some was shot here in Hawaii, as you can see from the credits. So you still have that beauty. Dwayne Johnson pulling in for his homeland here. And we greatly appreciate it. But yes, it was a fabulous movie and highly recommended. It's been a couple of weeks that Frozen's been at #1. Maybe, The Rock and his team can, score the next level and actually, dethrone Frozen 2 to get #1. It has that possibility. This is great for kids and older kids and adults as well. So it's got that going for it. Plus it's fresh and new. Definitely going to be fun during Christmas as this hangs around. You don't want to miss it. Full price all the way. Maybe even IMAX, as some of the backgrounds and the effects are very stunning. I saw it in 2D and that's great and fine. Definitely, if I had had a couple of more bucks, or if 3D was free to me, movie theaters, no, I would have seen it there or in IMAX for sure. Maybe later down the road I'll do that. But definitely a good movie to see. They were, I saw the earliest screening on Thursday at 4 in the afternoon. So 2D was the only one that was available. But I wouldn't have minded IMAX or 3D for this, for sure. All right, thank you so much. This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, saying shock a thumbs up for Jumanji 2, The Next Level. And all I can say is, I can't wait for part 3. As when you get to the end of the movie, stay past the credits, because there is a little end credit scene kind of previewing part 3 and what could happen. And that looks like it's going to blow the roof off of it, because if it happens like what it shows, then I think we're in for something fabulous for sure, as maybe the kids will come face to face with their avatars and have to interact and deal with them firsthand instead of becoming them. All right, thank you so much. This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, live from Jumanji, giving Jumanji The Next Level a shock, a thumbs up. All right, thank you, and aloha.